Good afternoon and welcome to Halacha Day number 639. Halacha Day keeps the BJC Halacha A away, and today we're honoring my good friend Yonatan. Welcome, Yonatan, to the Halacha Day show. We're excited to have you joining us. Now, we're talking about the laws of being called up to the Torah. We talked about the Kohen, the Levi Yisrael. And now we're going to learn about a very interesting halacha, which is a little bit long, so we might break it up into 2 days. If the Kohen is in mid-Kriyat Shema, so he's in the middle, he came late. He's in the middle of the Shema, and now they're reading the Torah. Or he's in the middle of the blessings of Kriyat Shema. And certainly if he's in the middle of the Shemona Esrei, even if there is no other Kohen present, he should not be called up to the Torah, okay? So the Gabayim, the ones who call people up, have to pay attention to see if this guy is available. And there is no need to wait for him, for this would be in a position on the congregation. We don't want to keep the congregation waiting. Rather, a Levi or Yisrael is called, and the Gabbai then does not say, quote, if there is no Kohen present, but instead says Levi or Yisrael instead of Kohen. So in other words, normally when there's no Kohen, you say, Ein kan Kohen, there's no Kohen, Yamoid, Shmuel, Yitzchak, Ben Avraham, Halevi, right? But in this case, there is a Kohen there, so you don't say Ein kan Kohen, those words, there's no Kohen, because there's a Kohen. Just say that the Levi of Israel is being called up instead of the Kohen. Now, if it happened that the Kohen was called, the Gabbai wasn't paying attention. He should not have called them up, but he did. So now it depends. So if he was in the middle of the Kriyat Shema or its blessings, so then he may go up and recite the blessings, but he may not read along with the reader, right? Normally he's supposed to read along with the reader. In this case, don't. He may only listen. However, if at all possible, he should finish the subject in which he is in the middle and stop at a place where the subject ends before he goes up to the Torah. Now, we learned this already. Footnote here says the endings of particular subjects are called bein prakim, between the chapters, right? So we said that you can interrupt in certain circumstances between the paragraphs, so it's better in that sense to be at that point in your prayer than be in the middle of the paragraph. Fine. Now, if he's in the middle of the Shemona Esrei and he gets called up, oh boy, then even if he was called up, he may not go up because he's in the middle of Shemona Esrei. Similarly, between Goal Yisrael and Shemona Esrei, that blessing right before the Shemona Esrei, the Sayot Amida, he may not go up because you're not supposed to interrupt that part. However, if he's in the midst of the prayer Elokai Nitzor, that very last paragraph where you say personal prayers, he may go up. Okay? If he is in the middle of Psuki de Zimra, the earlier prayers before the Shema, right, where also you shouldn't interrupt, but the laws are more lenient. So if there is no other Kohen present, he may even initially be called up. No problem, call him up. But he may not read with the reader. However, if there is another Kohen present, he should initially not be called, right? Call up the other Kohen, because he's in the middle of Psuki Zimra, he came late. And all of the above also applies to a Levi. Thanks for listening. We got through it. That was 639, the sponsor for Halacha 36, 100 for the gold. We'll see you tomorrow.